Hi there, it's Julia from Awesome Healthy, and today's question is, how much fat do you need to eat as a raw vegan? And if your fat comes from plant sources as opposed to animal sources, does it mean that you can eat it in any quantities you desire? So these are the questions we are going to talk about in this video. So first thing first, let's understand, why do we need fat? Well, fat is an important nutrient that is needed for the healthy functioning of our body. And fat is an insulator. It insulates our organs. It also acts as an alternative fuel in times when sugar from carbohydrates is not available, and it ensures a proper hormonal functioning. So, how much fat do you need to be healthy? Well, before we get to the actual figures, let's have a look at what world's healthiest and long-lived cultures consume. And if we look at all of them, we will see that they actually eat a low-fat diet. They happen to eat a low-fat diet. A low-fat as opposed to the standard Western diet. And actually, the diet that they eat is a normal fat diet, is a healthy fat diet. And they eat under 15% of fat a day. If we look at elite Kenyan runners, who are famous for their top running performance, their fat percentage is 13% a day. If we look at Okinawans in Japan, they are disease-free, they're lean, slim, and most long-lived people on planet Earth. They've got a longer life expectancy, the longest life expectancy actually on the planet. And their fat consumption is very low, 6% is all they consume. If we look at Vilcabambans, and that's the valley in Ecuador where we lived for 9 months, again, people there are known for their health and for their longevity. They live for up to 100 years old and longer, and they're very healthy, very slim, free from Western disease, or again, used to be before the Western food creeped in. And their fat consumption is 15% of fat a day. And all these cultures live primarily on a plant-based, high carbohydrate and low-fat diet. So as you can see, people who lived a long, healthy and happy life, people who are slim, who don't suffer from obesity, actually eat low-fat diets. You know, people believe that for as long as their fat is plant-based and not animal-based, they can eat it in any quantities they like. However, this assumption is incorrect. The moment you start eating more than 15% of fat a day, that's your absolute ceiling. Ideally, you want to keep it under 10% of fat a day. You are facing the risks of blood sugar disorders such as candida, diabetes, type 2 diabetes, hyper and hyperglycemia, mental and physical tiredness, chronic fatigue, severe chronic fatigue. People do experience chronic fatigue on high-fat diets. Now, how much fat does a typical American consume? Well, the answer is 33% a day. So a typical American on a Western junk diet consumes about 33% of fat a day. How much fat do you think does a raw vegan, a standard raw vegan, I shall say, because you know it's a mainstream raw vegan diet that is not healthy. So how much fat do you think a standard raw vegan consumes a day? Well, the answer is over 60%. So yes, standard raw vegan diets can contain more fat if compared to standard American diets. And that's very unhealthy. That's something for you to be aware of. So when you understand the risks of consuming high-fat diets, when you understand that these figures, you know, low-fat diet that advises you to eat under 10%, certainly no more than 15% of fat a day, didn't just emerge from nowhere. It emerged from research, it emerged from the observation of the healthiest and long-lived people on this planet, so, and also athletically active people on this planet. So regardless if you are a raw vegan or a vegan, choose a low-fat diet where around 10% of your total daily calories consumed come from fat. and the rest, 80% or more, come from carbohydrates and 10% come from protein. So these are your basic guidelines, the 80-10-10 guidelines. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you benefited from this information. Please post your comments below. Be well, see you shortly.